Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday to you all. Adele here from Your Healing Path and Dare to Be Authentic. It's Friday, and we've just come through a week of talking about resilience. So I have a hair in my eye that I'm trying to get out, and it's not working. We have been focused on resilience this week, and you must all realise by now, I'm a big fan of just dispelling, the energy or the myths around these concepts, and bringing it back down to everyday language, because I believe that when you do that, when you can talk about things in an everyday scenario, you actually realize that you can do it. Who thought? Really? I love this. So let's just think about resilience as being able to manage change, and being able to manage that change by incorporating the things that have changed, incorporating them into your life, or not, if it's something you don't want in your life, in a way that best suits your purpose moving forward. So rather than saying, I am resilient or I'm not resilient, how about just going, I manage change. I'm a change agent in my own life. Oh, that's kind of empowering, isn't it? I'm a change agent in my own life. Try saying that one for yourselves and watch how your body just goes, oh, that makes me pretty cool, really? I am a change agent in my own life. So what I want to do this morning is just recap briefly what we've talked about this week to do with resilience. And the three keys that I've discussed throughout the week when you are looking at being resilient, when you're looking at being able to bounce back. So I believe the very first aspect of that is the grieving process. So I just want you guys to remember that every change that you make in your life, every change that you incorporate into your life means the death of something that has been before. It means that something that you have been doing up until that point in your life, you're no longer going to do because you're incorporating a change. So when we're talking about, smaller issues of changing your life, around changing your life, maybe it's a shift in attitude, maybe it's a shift in mindset, there is a little bit of death involved in that. When we're talking about huge trauma, when we're talking about fairly major events in your life, then that absolutely involves a grieving process. In many ways, when you go through a major trauma, it is the death of your innocence in relation to that particular event. So you need to grieve that. You need to give yourself the time to acknowledge what you're going through. You need to give yourself the space to process through that series of emotions. It's no good just sweeping it under the carpet or putting, a big blanket over it and it's just a big mound in the corner. No. Look at it. Give yourself enough respect to realize that you deserve the grieving process. I kind of find that really a no-brainer. I'm all about acknowledging emotion and allowing it to be, and then allowing it to go, moving on from that. So the grieving process may, for some people, involve a period of hibernation while you do that processing, and that's okay. That's okay. Depending on the level of the event that you've gone through. That grieving process can go anything from, an hour or two to a month or two. No one can tell you how long you need to process your emotions. No one. You might have people saying, get over it, which might trigger you to go, hang on a sec, maybe it's time I start looking at things differently. Sure. But no one can tell you how long it takes to process your own emotions. So allow yourself that time. The next part of the process, when you're starting to come out of that grieving process, where you're starting to come out of that hibernation phase, is support. When you're done, or when you're going through the tail end of that processing phase, hey Nicole, when you're going through that tail end of processing, you actually energetically become, you actually start becoming open to support. You actually start going, well, okay, I'm going through this. Now I need some help. Now I need some help. And as I've said before, I encourage that. You hear me say it virtually every day. Reach out. Whether that's reaching out to me, or if you are going through some sort of major trauma, reaching out to, places and organizations that are specifically designed to deal with particular issues. Reach out. Seek the support. None of us is a rock. None of us is an island. I don't care what Simon and Garfunkel say. To process through grief, to reach for support, is acknowledging that you are ready to move on. Yeah? The important aspect of reaching out for support is finding the right kind of support. If you don't find the right kind of support, it's just going to throw you back in your shell. So you keep seeking support. You keep looking for that person who is going to say, you know what, I get you. I get what you're going through. And being able to share those experiences. Share your experience with someone who's gone through something similar. Never exactly the same, but from an emotional perspective or an energetic perspective, a similar situation. And, in that way, you can start processing it all for yourself. In having your emotions acknowledged by someone else who has been through something similar. So the third phase of that, which ties in completely with the support, is starting to look for the positive. You start looking at what's your why. You go back to the beginning and go, well, this is what I was aiming for. That's what I'm aiming for. That's my why. Is that enough to pull me out of my funk? It could be, it might not be. So if it's not, take it to another level to look for the positive. What makes me smile? What makes my heart sing? What are the things that I have access to on a day-to-day basis that generally make me feel better as a person in my life, makes me smile, makes me happy, gives me goosebumps, makes me buzz? Might be a song, it might be an activity, it might be hugging your children, it could be anything. Could be anything. For me, it's actually getting more than 10 seconds to cuddle Casper. That's a big goal for me. If those things are still not working, if you still find that you keep getting dragged back into the grieving process, then there's a little bit more work that you need to do. And what you can then start doing is looking at the mind-body aspect. What's happening in my body? Am I nourishing myself? Am I nourishing my body on a physical level? You know, do I need to go out and start doing some exercise to get some energetic movement going through my body? Do I need to look at what I'm eating and think about, you know, am I shoveling crap into my body? And I used to do this a lot. Shovel crap into my body because I wanted my physical being to feel as crappy as my emotional being, to try and find a balance about what was going on inside me, emotionally and energetically, and how I was actually physically feeling. So look at that mind-body connection. Are you trying to, you know, justify how you're feeling by making yourself actually feel worse? Or are you ready to take the step and go, you know what, I deserve to feel better? And looking at what am I doing to my body and for my body to allow that process to start. You know, it could be supplements, it could be juicing, it could be going for a walk, whatever. Don't forget the mind-body aspect of this whole process. The last part of this, and it's the first time I've mentioned this, is what I look at being as stage 4, and that is rebalancing. Rebalancing the new aspects that you've brought into your life, the aspects that you've let go of, and how does that all work now in your life? How does that all then tie in with your why? Are you still on track with that? Is it still something that you want? Rebalance with all of these different components now in play. When you're integrating the changes that you have decided to bring into your life, it's not about returning to what was. It's not. Because if you keep trying to return to what was, you're never going to move forward. I'm telling you that right now. You will get stuck in that grieving process because you're longing for what was. What was is what was. It's not what is right now. That sounded like a Dr. Seuss line. So when you are at the final stages of the resilience process or the managing change process, it is about rebalancing your life, rebalancing yourself, and incorporating these changes to best suit your needs moving forward. It's not about returning to what was, it's about acknowledging what is and moving forward with that new information, with that new outlook, with that new perspective, with a different set of boundaries, or without the boundaries that were there before. It's about acknowledging that you actually have the freedom to make those changes in your life. If you allow yourself the freedom to make those changes in your life, allow yourself the celebration of incorporating those changes and making them work the best way for you. I say it all the time. It is all about you. It is all about how you choose to live your life. What you choose to have in your life and what you choose not to have in your life. If you choose positivity, if you choose resilience and managing change, congratulate yourself. That's freaking awesome. There are way too many people who choose to go the other way, who choose to not come from a place of love. So what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose a place of love? Are you going to choose a place that encourages your growth? are you going to choose to make the changes to give yourself the respect that you deserve, to allow yourself to receive the love that is just waiting for you to accept it? The choice is always yours. It is always yours. So whether you look at it as resilience or managing change, whether you look at it as procrastination or a warning signal for you to address, whether you look at it as I frickin' lost my shit and I don't know what to do, or hang on a sec, I just lost my shit, what's that triggering in me? Bring it down to everyday terms. Bring it down to everyday situations in your life. And you know what? For your own benefit, just get rid of the labels. Get rid of the labels. The labels are fine for some people. If the labels aren't working for you, get rid of them. And look at them in your own real life terms. Guys, I wish you all a very, very happy Friday. I really hope that this week on focusing on resilience and bouncing back has helped some of you to, look at your own lives and see whether, you're stuck in the grieving process because you can't incorporate change, or whether you're, at that stage where you're ready to accept support and move forward. Or if you're in the stage of incorporating those changes and welcoming the new you into your life. Ooh, just got goosebumps. I just got goosebumps. Love a good set of goosebumps. Have a great day, guys. I will step in over the weekend and touch base. But in the meantime, have a great Friday. Manage the change in your life. Be the creator of your own life. Welcome what you want. It's your choice. Love you all. Bye.